what's up, guys? Back with another stream. Appreciate you guys checking out the stream, and we're gonna be heading out to doing some FSEconomy. Let me get my music back on here. All right, cool. Just want to have a little background music going, but I appreciate you guys checking out the stream, and we're in the Piper Seminole today. The Bambino Games Piper Seminole 328 Tango Delta. Love this plane, a lot of fun to fly, and we're going to be taking this thing through California. So let's check out what we're going to be doing here. Actually, I probably should lower this. It's a little too loud, right, guys? Let me just lower this. There you go, that's better. All right, so we're going to be taking this to California. A California trip. Let's show you what I'm going to be doing here. Get my Chrome on, and there we go. So we've got, we're in Ontario, Southern California. Going to be going to KSAN, San Diego, 82 miles. Going to be about 85 because we're going to try to vector around these mountains this way. I was thinking about going the ocean route, but I figured we'd go the scenic route this way and heading on down to San Diego. So we're going to go KONT to Raji, then Udhe, and then KSAN. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner, got the route set up on Flight Plan Go on the iPad. And then you can see my yoke here, ready to go, man. And let me just get this off here. So, not a big amount of money to be made here, but that's okay. It's all about the fun of flying and chatting and stuff like that. So, anyway, let's get to it. Get inside the plane here. 328 Tango Delta. We're all rolling, ready to go. I just got to turn on, got 50 gallons of gas, should be plenty to get there. And let me just dump, you guys can't see this, but I'm turning on FSEconomy. Logging into that, and making sure my flight is loaded, and it is. I want to get there and not having, although I did find out watching John Fly's stream the other day that you can actually initiate FSEconomy after you take off, which I'll have to remember because there's been times when I've forgot to do it and I've gone back, which was a pain in the ass. So in any event, let's see. So we got our, where's our autopilot? Autopilot, we're going to be on nav. I guess we'll probably need to fly at about, I'm going to get up to about 5,000, and then we'll take it from there. Should be good to go. Let's do some, make sure all our systems are working. There's the elevators and ailerons. And let's make sure my rudder pedals are working okay, and they are good. All right, so we're all set. Assuming that we did the checklist, let's get this out of the way. And this is the AeroSphere Piper Seminole, which I customized myself. Twin engine, not a turbo, but a twin engine. And plenty of power to get us where we need to go. Easy to fly, fun to fly. And lots of fun. So anyway. Oh, what's going on? Somehow for some reason we're really lagging. I don't know what the hell was happening there. Hey Jonesy, how you doing, man? Yeah, VR. How is this VR? I tried to explain, and it was cancer. Yeah, you know, you got to have it configured correctly, man. I have a couple of videos on how to do that, and if you don't have it configured correctly, yeah, it could be really, really bad. So it does take some tweaking check my channel. There's a couple of videos on how to do it, and also obviously your PC is going to be dependent. But this is, I'm flying in VR, but obviously I'm streaming in 2D because you know, I'm not doing it stereoscopic. So anyway, all right. So let me just get myself centered here. Good. All right, let's taxi over and. Yeah, it does take some tweaking, man, for sure. But once you have it tweaked, it's pretty damn good. Where the hell am I going here? I'm going to be taking off to the... Yeah, let's go this way. We don't need much of a runway. I do watch your stream from time to time, man, so I do enjoy it for sure. Yeah, it is Ontario. With that configuration, the 1070 and the CPU you have, you should be fine. Check the last video I did on FlyInside configuration, and that should help you. The main thing is, you know, it's really difficult to run FlyInside on the maximum settings for graphics. It just eats up, it really chews up the CPU, and it's not optimized for the GPU, unfortunately, like X-Plane. So you've got to be careful of that. But hopefully that video will help you get it going. I mean, I'm getting 21 frames per second and 94 frames in the headset. That's because it's a third-party plane, and if I was flying the stock 172, I'd probably be up in the 30s in frame rate. That has a lot to do with X-Plane, you know. There's a lot of factors, you know. When you're running VR with FlyInside, you've got X-Plane, you've got FlyInside, you got the Rift. There's a lot going on, as you can imagine, and it does chew things up. So let's get on this runway here. But there's nothing like flying in VR once you get it set up right. All right, so we got GPS set up. Yeah, I have my flight plan already in the G1, the 530. And let's get out of here. Flaps to 1. I have XP Realistic running too. Let's rotate. There we go. Gear up. Flaps up. There's the tower. This plane is a little bit squirrely. It's a little... It reacts very quickly. But it's a nice Seminole to fly. See that? See how easily it reacts like that. We're going to want to turn our carb heat on. And we're going to get our altitude. I said 4,000, but I'm not sure we have to be that high. I can't see chat right now, guys, so I will get to that when as soon as I get the autopilot cranking here. We are climbing very nicely. I think 3,500 would probably do it. But let's just go to 4 just to be safe. And then our trip into San Diego with these 3 passengers. Got about $345,000 right now in FSEconomy. I have a King Air that's in North Carolina at KCLT, Charlotte, North Carolina. That's rented from time to time. A little bit less than I'd like it to, but it is rented from time to time, which is cool. Alright, so we'll get our autopilot cranking here soon. Get to 4,200. Got the Ortho 4XP in the Southern California area, so that's looking cool. Looks great in VR. Yeah, I'm like barely touching the yoke, and you can see how this plane is moving back and forth. I don't believe that's realistic, but that's okay. It's still a fun plane to fly. All right, let's get the nav on and altitude on the autopilot, and then we should be good to go. Here, we're going to fly at 42.48. And let's take a look at our total time here. Cumulative distance is about 80 nautical miles. Shouldn't be too long of a flight. We're want to cut back on our mixture a little bit. Cut back on the manifold, the RPM on the prop. Flying at 140 knots. Get everything set up nicely here, keeping it like 150. Good to go, baby. Very nice. All right. Again, appreciate you guys joining. Mayday, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Yeah, guys, like I said, check out that video, and it might help you out. So a lot going on. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have tried 11.10 beta. I have not. Pardon me. Bit of a cold here. I have not tried it yet. I normally don't run beta, but I'm really tempted because I want to try the G1000. It looks awesome in the stock 172. It looks really nice. I saw a couple of videos of it, and it looks like it's got like airport charts on it and stuff, like full featured. Pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to checking that out. The one thing I was hoping for was that V-Flight Air, you know, that the SR-20 is one of my favorite planes from V-Flight Air, and they have their own G1000. And I was hoping those guys would use the stock X-Plane G1000, because theirs is a little bit limited in functionality, but they said they're not going to do that. They're going to use their own, which is kind of disappointing. I think it would be really good if they used the stock one, because one less thing to worry about, and they can worry about more about flight dynamics and improving the autopilot and stuff like that, you know. But I guess maybe it's all part of it, so they'd have to switch all those systems over. Not sure really how it's programmed, but anyway, I really want to check out the G1000. There's mixed reviews from people as far as frame rates that I've seen on social media of 1.0. I'm not sure. Probably very configuration dependent. So, but yeah, I'm really tempted to try it out. I think they're on the 4th release now of 1.0 beta, so I'm sure they worked out some of the major issues. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it. I have to figure out how to get back if I have a problem. The one thing I heard though was that Fly Inside wasn't working with the 1.0, so got to confirm if that's the case or not before I move forward with that. So, but we shall see. Check out those mountains, man. They look awesome. This is why flying in VR is the best to me. It's just incredible. See what kind of frame rates we're getting here. We're getting, all right, 24, 23, that's fine. Anything north of 20, I'm pretty happy with Fly Inside, especially with a third-party plane. Yeah, so we're about to turn our first leg here. Or our second leg, I should say. So, yeah, if you guys have any experience with 1.0, I'd be interested to know. Also, check out, if you guys are on Facebook, there's a new group that I found for Pilot Edge group flights. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but if you search Pilot Edge on Facebook, you'll probably find the group. And there's some people on there that are organizing group flights in Pilot Edge, which is great because, you know, there's not a lot of people on Pilot Edge. And group flights are a lot of fun, like, you know, A to B destination, everybody flying in formation and stuff. So I found that you might want to check that out on Facebook. It's the it's the Pilot Edge group flight group on Facebook. Check that out. Let's see what you got to say, mate. I got to take my headset off. On the latest news of beta now, better performance and the new G1000 is awesome, but Fly Inside doesn't work yet. Okay, VR. They're working on it this weekend. Okay, so Daniel's working on a fix. Okay, yeah, hope so, because obviously would like to run the newest release, especially when it's ready to go. I'm not sure if I talked about this since my last flight, but I did see there was a talk that Laminar gave in Europe somewhere where they were talking about roadmap, and they did say now that native VR is slated to have by end of year. Originally back at FlightSimCon they were talking about fall, but apparently that slipped a little bit, and now they're talking end of year for I guess the beta release of VR. Now that's one beta I will definitely run. And they're still shooting for that 45, I think they said 60 frames per second is what they're shooting for in their optimization. But they won't get that probably till Vulkan. But they're always trying to improve it. I guess, you know, you prove it in the software, in the design, and then when you go from OpenGL to Vulkan, they should get a bump in frame rate right there, you know, because you're going to be optimizing the GPUs much better. And so that should give them a huge bump right there. So I'm sure that's what they're probably thinking. Yeah, say hello in the chat, guys. Got 8 people watching. Appreciate you joining. Doing some VR flying. I can see it in VR. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it in VR. I've had mixed reviews about people wanting to see stereoscopic streams. I could do that. You guys would have to have a headset, or it's like a Samsung VR headset or something like that to be able to watch. And you could see things in 3D and stuff. It's not quite the same. I did some testing with it. It's not quite the same of what I see, but it is, you know, 3D. So think about doing that, but for now, you're just seeing the Oculus Mirror stream. So anyway, all right. So we've got make a nice time here now. I'm sure if you follow the channel, you noticed that putting up a lot of videos for Gold Rush, the game. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of hooked in that game. It's a lot of fun to play. It really is a lot of fun to play. A lot of glitches in it. I think they've got a partnership with Discovery Channel and the show Gold Rush, which I'm a big fan of. And I think they pushed to release that game like too quick, and it's got a lot of bugs. But the good news is the devs are pushing out, like, I think they pushed out 3 updates this week, try to get everything stable and working properly. But anyway, if you're into gold mining and Gold Rush, the show, it's a lot of fun, and it's only like, I think they have a special on. It's like $18 right now on Steam. I mean, you can't, even if it's, you know, got problems, you can't go wrong for $18. Look at that plateau over there. It's awesome. So anyway, oh, other big news, the Yankees. You guys probably know I'm a Yankee fan, and I got to tell you, man, the series at home could not have gone better. They won 3 straight games at home. Houston tonight for Game 6. They got to go up against Verlander. It's Severino versus Verlander. Middle of the order starting to hit. Hope that keeps up. I hope they can nail it down tonight and say those magical words, the Yankees are going to the World Series. That would be awesome. But so far it's been a great postseason. I'm a big baseball fan. I love baseball. And both series have been really, all the series have been really good. Although the Cubs are kind of getting a little blown out by the Dodgers. The Dodgers are so good, man. Whoever plays the Dodgers is going to have a tough time, for sure. They're a good team. They really are. Their batting is like, I think it's the best in the league. You know, the Yankees have seemed to found the hole in Altuve, and the Astros have been holding them to, you know, to limited base runners. But the Dodgers just seem to cream everybody. Maybe I'm getting 60 frames now in beta. This is usually non-city areas. The performance and smoothness has definitely increased. So Mayday, is that 60 frames in VR or is that 60 frames in 2D? If you're getting 60 frames per second in VR, that's pretty amazing. I mean, I think the maximum I've ever gotten with the stock 172 in like a barren area is like 45 or 46, so somewhere around there. I get now 24. All right, about to make our, is this our final leg? I think this is our final leg. Yeah, final leg. So we got about 50 nautical miles to KSAN. Let's check outside the plane here. There's the Bambino Seminole. Piper Seminole, little 4-seater. But cruises pretty quickly. Looking nice, looking nice. Look at that beautiful California landscape. This is a weird feeling in VR. You're actually like floating in air looking at the plane. It's pretty cool. All right, making our turn to San Diego, and then we're just going to play the landing by ear. I know this airport pretty well. I'll come over the sea, or maybe we'll come from the seaside. We'll come from the west. 16 minutes to get there. 150 nautical miles. We're doing 173 ground speed, or 150 airspeed, 173 ground speed. Be there pretty quick. Yeah, so maybe I'd be interested to know if that's VR or 2D, for sure. So it's going to be kind of a short stream tonight. I'm planning on doing like a real long marathon FSEconomy flight, like 200 and some odd nautical miles in a plane I really like. Maybe something in Hawaii. Although in Hawaii, the only plane I can really fly there is the Seneca V, which is a nice plane, but it's a Carenado, so the frame rates are awful. I'm wishing there was an SR-20 in Hawaii. If there was an SR-20 in Hawaii, I'd buy it. Because I would love to have an SR-20 in Hawaii. Because I have the Ortho in Hawaii, and it's a lot of fun flying around those islands and stuff. And just looks so cool. At the moment, 2D only max settings. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to test it in VR. It's not compatible. Okay. Before beta, okay. For the beta, I was getting 30. Wow, it went. So in 2D, you went from 35 to 60. That's amazing. From some release 11.05 to 11.1, you went from 35 frames per second to 60 in 2D. That's amazing. That's a huge jump. Uh-oh. Woo! I thought we were crashing there. That would have sucked. That's amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to see native VR and how they implement that. It would be... it's going to take business away from FlyInsideXP 11, but you know what? They've got other business, and they're working on their own simulator too, so that should be interesting to see. They're supposed to have something by the end of the year. I can't wait to see that. But, you know, native VR and X-Plane, I think that's, you know, we're all hoping that that's going to be like 35, 40, you know, 45 frames per second. It's something super, super smooth so that you can crank up the graphics and it'll, you know, be as best as possible. I mean, this is like, I have FlyInside on the second to lowest setting. I think it's, what, 2300 by 1600, something like that. There's one setting above that I can run with the native planes, the you know, stock planes, but I can't do that with the third-party planes because I get like 18 frames per second. And to me, that's just not flyable. All right, we're going to have to start coming down here a little bit. So let's see. Why don't we use the vertical speed? Turn the altimeter. Okay, and put the vertical. See, why does the altimeter button always just come back on this? Or taking it down 300 feet per second. Or sorry, 300 feet per minute. Sorry. I want to go a little faster than that. We'll go to 500 feet per minute. Get ourselves down to 2,000, somewhere around there. Heading into San Diego. Beautiful scenery. I think this is my 16th FSEconomy episode. But yeah, my next one's going to be a long one. I'm going to do like I said, a 200 mile stint. Maybe I'll do it. I want to do it in the SR-20 because I love that plane. It's a fun plane to fly. You can't carry a lot of people, but it goes fast, flies fun, lands fun. It's just a fun plane to fly. We're about 10 minutes out, about 30 miles out. I'm going to back off on the throttle a little bit here. I love flying in VR. It's just so much fun, man. It's so relaxing. Tough day at work. Get in the plane, put the headset on. You feel like you're 4,000, 3,000 feet in the air. You know, it's awesome. A lot of users are also seeing good performance game, but like I said, I get 60 frames 2D, especially flying over terrain like you are now. Drops down a bit, builds up areas like London. Gotcha, that makes sense. Built up areas, it's going to drop down. That makes sense. But yeah, that's a good sign. Actually I owe a video on performance on 11.05 because I like to do GPU performance, or I should say frame performance on each release. So maybe this weekend I'll cut one of those, and then I'll be ready when the 1.0 comes out. I'll be doing I do it in the same place with the same plane and pretty much the same flight, same configuration, so that it's a benchmark, you know. So I do owe that. I have that on the list to do. Just work has been so busy, I just haven't had a chance to do that kind of stuff. Gotta make time, right? I appreciate you guys joining the stream. If you haven't subscribed to Bambino Games, please do. Just hit that subscribe button, and also hit that little bell button, and you'll get indications as to when I put up new videos or when I'm streaming. But please do that. I'd love to have you aboard. Mainly two things that I'm playing now, or not, I don't play. You don't play X-Plane. I'm flying X-Plane 11, which is the bulk of what I do, and also playing Gold Rush, the game, which is a fun game. I just enjoy playing. Once in a while, I'll slip in other games here and there, like Project Cars and other simulation games. But I kind of, you know, spent the last few months really focusing on X-Plane. And, you know, now kind of weaving in it's all the 2200. And let's get our mixture in, our prop in. What I love about this plane, it has the quartz movement clock. That's pretty cool that they did that. Now we got 20 miles out, so we got a little bit of time. So pretty soon I'm going to hand fly it out to the west a little bit. And then we'll bring it into San Diego. In fact, why not do that now? We'll let the autopilot have all the fun. Alright, we're off autopilot. We're going to fly over this way a little bit. Coming into the San Diego area. Yeah, it's a little touchy. I wish they would update this plane and just kind of tweak the... You can see I'm barely moving the yoke, and you see how this plane moves. Shouldn't be that touchy. So it's very small movements on this plane. You know, judge it by the 172, which is a pretty well-designed flight dynamics and control, and that's what I have. You know, I've got everything set up pretty much on that as the baseline. So when I get a plane like this that's just this touchy, you know that there's some improvements that can be made. All right, we're about 2,000 feet here. We're cruising at 139 ground speed. See, frame rates getting 22. It's not bad for a third-party plane. Got an itch. Itch. There's also a great feature that allows you to set runway visibility and weather, clouds, haze. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've got visibility. I set it at 100, so because I like to, in VR, I like to see everything really defined, you know. Let's see what we look like on the outside. Where's my mouse? There it is. Looking good, baby. Yeah, I can't wait to see that G1000. I'm hoping that Caronado and all the third parties will just use X-planes like they use the 530. 530 is such a dependable GPS, and you know that X-plane at Laminar's put a lot of work into the G1000. They're going to be improving it, and why not just have everybody use the same one? You know how to work it. You learn to work one. You don't have to work two different. I think there's 3 different G1000s now. There's Caronado, whatever it is. Yeah, Coronado's G1000, which is a dog. There's the G1000 from V-Flight Air, which is pretty good and getting better. And then there's good X-planes, which are Laminar Researches, which is probably going to have, you know, a lot of work behind it. So my vote is to standardize on one. Just use the platform. And they said the third parties can use it. So I'm not sure if they have to pay a license. They might have to pay a little license to use it. You know, I mean, that could be why. Like, I know at Caronado, they always put the 430 in a lot of their planes instead of the 530, even though they've got room on the console to put it in there. They always go with the 430, and I always wondered if that's because there's a licensing cost difference between the two. Like the 430 is a little cheaper or whatever; they can save a little money. Who knows? I prefer to have a 530 because it's got the bigger screen, right? But the G1000, the glass cockpit 172 is going to be fun. Looking forward to that. All right. Runways to our 11 o'clock there. We're holding 2,000. It's going to start to slowly descend down to 1,500. Order looks looks nice today. Don't crash. Just making our way kind of slow here. Go a little faster. Keep the propeller at 2,500. Let's take her down. Down to 1,500. 1500. Alrighty, runway in sight. Love the way that looks down there. That little, how those hills are carved out. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to start to slow down here, get our flaps to 1. prop is all the way in. Gump. Gas in. Undercarriage isn't down yet. Mixture in and prop in. So we'll get our gear down once we make our turn. Actually, let's just put it down now. Got our gear down. Got 2 green, 3 green. Let's see what it would look like with the gear. Here's our gear right there, see? Runway right over there, baby. You always know San Diego because you fly over this little inlet right here. I guess it's the inlet into whatever, I don't know. And that's just past that is where you make your turn. So you fly parallel with the coastline. And just after that you make your left-hand turn into your approach. Holding 1500. Got 100 knots. Landed about 70 knots, somewhere around there. Alrighty. Start to turn our final. Downward descent. Flaps to 2. Back on the throttle a little bit. Beautiful scenery, beautiful scenery. Nice wide runway to land on. Flaps full. Got about 90 knots right now. .400 feet. .80 knots. Keep it right there. .300 feet. Back on the throttle a little bit. Little squirrely. It's almost like you're flying in a crosswind. That's kind of how squirrely it seems. So hopefully the guys at AeroSphere fix that. Coming to 75 knots. A nice approach. Let's get the trim up a little bit. Plenty of runway to work with. Be patient. Be patient. Throttle down, nose up. And there you go. That's how you do it. Right there. Beautiful. Let the brakes ride out a little bit. I mean, let the plane ride out so we don't kill the brakes. Not bad, eh? Nice. I thought that was a pretty nice landing. Nice smooth landing. Land on the back wheels, put the nose down. That's what you want to do, right? All right, let's go over to GA. Get our flaps up. Unload our passengers and see how much money we made. Not going to be a lot. Probably make about $2 grand. That's okay. It's more about the flying, right? Let's pick one of these spots right here. I'm not sure if this is parking, but we'll park here. No, it's not, but that's okay. It's just park here. Set parking brake?
Brake set.
All right. Gotta turn the plane off to check out FSEconomy, and let me just turn that off. Finish the flight. Okay, we finished. Now let's check out let's check out how we did in FSEconomy. Go to the log. This guy here. So let's do this one. We made it. Oh, just like I said, we made $2 grand. Not bad. So that's gonna put us at 348 and saving up for the next plane. Like I said, I've got the I've got this SR, the C90. It's got a decent amount of action. You know, not a lot. You know, every couple of days someone flies it. I usually make about $1,500 to $2,000 on it, which isn't bad. But I want to get to I would really like to get to the point where I can maybe buy a SR20. And what I really want to know is if there's a way to in FSEconomy, if there's a way to ask those folks to put an SR20, like let's say in Hawaii, so I can buy it, right? Because right now I can't buy it. So, you know, anyway, it'd be kind of cool if I could do that. Mayday, you have to leave now. I'm working tomorrow. Okay, good luck at work, man. I appreciate you stopping by, Mayday. Thank you very much. Always appreciate the support, guys. Well, that's probably going to do it for the stream here. I appreciate you guys watching. It was a quick FSEconomy stream, and made ourselves $2 grand. And until next time, please hit the like button if you like what you saw today in flight, and don't forget to subscribe to Bambino Games for more virtual reality flying in FSEconomy, X-Plane 11 for the time being, and Fly Inside. Sitting here at San Diego. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day, guys.